slightly leaky. It is. Yeah, let's not even go there. It's ridiculously hot, so let's get distracted by some Star Trek. Okay, so Star Trek Resurgence is developed by Dramatic Labs, published by Brunner House, and thank you to ID at Xbox for the code for streaming this. It came out on May 23rd, but there were a couple of broken achievements, so I was waiting until it was fixed, and it's now fixed. It is available on Xbox, PlayStation, and Epic Games. On Xbox, it's £33.49 or $30.99. Star Trek Resurgence is a narrative adventure game featuring dialogue choices, relationship building, and exploration. Alongside dialogue-driven role-playing and rich branching storylines, you will engage with the Star Trek universe and a variety of other gameplay styles, including shuttle piloting, phaser fights, tricorder scanning, stealth, and micro gameplay mechanics. So, yeah. Sounds like fun. Plus, it is Star Trek, and I am a big fan. Always been a fan of Star Trek versus Star Wars. So, yeah. Let's have a look. But yeah, it's like, live long and prosper. Live long and prosper. You could always do that with both hands very easily. Ugh. I am trying not to stick to everything in associated empowerment. Obviously, that makes sense. I have two fans on and like an ice pack on the back of my neck and like these cooling things, which don't really do anything massively to cool, but you know, psychosomatic maybe. Let's turn the music down a touch. Ooh, there's dialogue. Excellent. Motion blur, no thank you. Subtitles, yes please. So we can dive deep into our choices if we wanted to. How do I get back? There we go. Right. Right. Well, let's play some Star Trek. Oh, let's have a quick look at the achievements first. There are 30 achievements. Yeah, I think it was... Yeah, Act 2 is broken, because obviously if you look at the number of people that have completed it compared to Act 3, that's just very wrong. Yeah, the Act 2 one was broken, but it's fixed now. All of the achievements are achievable, which makes me happy. So, yeah. Let's begin. Engage. Make it so. This is a Dramatic Labs adventure. The relationship in the events you're about to experience will be shaped by the choices you make. Hi, Dana Milo. I'm going to just sigh at you because you know that's the wrong franchise. Can he take much more of this heat, Captain? Yeah. Big fan of Scotty. Not where the Scottish accent came
Captain's
from,
log, Stardate 57931.4. The crew is restless. After spending too many months piecing our ship back together, we're finally about to venture out on a new mission. And the crew isn't letting this unprecedented ion storm slow them down. They're ready for something different. I know I am. Perhaps more than any of them. Fortunately, nothing ever stays the same. It's entropy, the nature of the universe. Change is inevitable. And while entropy says order gives way to chaos, in this case, change is good. Our new first officer is en route to the Resolute. Jara Rydek. I know she'll bring a welcome dose of new blood to the crew.
Thanks.
No problem.
I'm not great with flying.
That's obvious.
But these little shuttles are the worst.
Stick around in Starfleet and you'll be sure to see worse than this. I have.
And you're here to talk about it.
In the flesh.
That's good.
I'm glad I hit that first thing. I was
Sorry,
readjusting my
I'm a
cold
little
pack.
anxious.
I hadn't noticed.
I'm on my way to my first assignment. When we get to the starbase, I'm transferring on to the Resolute.
So am I.
It won't be easy for Jara to step in at the 11th hour like this. But if she's half the officer I knew she could become when she was a cadet at Starfleet Academy, she'll be the XO this ship needs right now.
Transferring onto the Resolute. Yes. Based on Star Trek, created by Gene Roddenberry. Yeah, I grew up with Star Trek. Episode 1, Change of Station. Grew up with Star Trek. As I said, I'm a Trekkie. Okay, first of all, I'm gonna go back and go, hello? Would you? No, I can't get that guy out of his seat. Okay, fine. I'm on the starship! Well, I'm on a space station, but hey. Why? That's an odd place to have a corridor like that. Okay,
A starbase on the very edge of Federation space. Long way from home now.
I've not seen every single episode. Because when I was obviously, when I was growing up, it was relying on what was on TV at the time. So I saw part of the original series, Next Gen. I've watched all of Voyager, and I missed the end of DS9. I did fall asleep during the first Star Trek movie, but to be fair, it is a really boring movie. I much prefer the one with the whale. I think I've seen all the movies, and then I've not seen the Enterprise show, but I've seen Picard. I've not seen Strange New Worlds yet, but I've watched first 2 seasons of Discovery. So yeah, I've not seen everything, but I still count myself as a Trekkie because that's what I grew up with. Star Wars, I am so bored of Star Wars. It's done. It's dead. There's nothing new to tell, it feels.
Commander? I'm not usually such a nervous wreck, by the way. I actually did well at the Academy.
Oh yeah?
Maybe you've heard of the Torvalin test?
Sounds familiar.
It's a tactical simulator that makes the Kobayashi Maru look like a picnic on Pintaris 5. Anyway, I finished in the top 20. Not just in my class. I mean, all time. In the history of the Academy.
Thank you for the
Really?
resub. Much
That's
appreciated.
quite impressive.
Thank you. It was tough, but I set my mind to it and it paid off.
I feel like he's boasting, but he's also just look, I'm not a wuss. But it's coming out as boasting, but
Please
I'm going to
place your
give him
hand here.
benefit.
Hold it there for a few seconds. Welcome, Commander Rydek.
Wait, you're Jara Rydek? You absolutely crushed the Torvalin test. You finished in what, like the top 3?
That would be me.
Now I'm really... It's an honor to meet you, Commander. Sorry, I didn't realize before. I just came off the shuttle and was glad to be on solid ground.
The pleasure is mine, Ensign.
Paul Calloway.
Good to meet you.
I believe Commander Ermot is expecting you. He's in the concourse just ahead.
See you on the Resolute.
All 3? It's a promo game, thanks to ID at Xbox. It's on my RTDL, and also I really wanted to play it. Yes, well, I mean, you know, makes sense to share transport. I mean, you know, it's energy efficient. But yeah, I mean, I always just like the idea of Star Trek, you know, there was always such diversity and acceptance, and it was always ahead of its time. And, oh, the interface.
Good day, Commander.
I love the interface. But yeah, I'm a big Star Trek fan. I had never seen Star Wars until I went to university. But I'd watched Star Trek for years since I was a kid. My brother had like all the annuals and the magazines, some of the books, but I just like watching the TV shows with him. Yeah, negotiate first, shoot later. And in the James T. Kirk era, sleep with them first. Then negotiate, then shoot. I did have nightmares from a original series episode once, the one with the salt monster. It really freaked me out. I never really figured out why, but yeah. But yeah, Star Trek.
I remember my briefing.
From when I was a kid.
Commander Ermot is a Bolian, so I'm looking for someone with blue skin.
I was always a big fan of Voyager. You know, and Deep Space Nine, but the first couple of seasons, well, the first season's kind of boring.
You haven't heard? Some kind of accident. Your warp core overloaded.
Okay, so I'm looking for someone with blue skin who's over there.
Spent 6 months fixing it up.
Was it the captain's fault?
That's the rumor. Yeah.
But you know, I just really like Star Trek. One of these days I will actually reach the end of DS9 and find out what happened with the Odo's race. Because I went to university at the wrong time, missed the end of both DS9 and Voyager. I caught up on Voyager because Voyager was easier to get back into, but because the first sort of half season of DS9 is kind of a slog, I never really got past it, and I've started it again. And I'm on like season 2 now, but then I got distracted by something else, so I should go back to it. It's just I got distracted by Ghost Whisperer, so I've been watching that. But maybe I'll go back to DS9, because I really want to find out what happened. I mean, kind of I know what happened, because they had part of it in Picard season 3. But, and I mean, I sort of figure out what happened. Next gen. I was the only thing that goes to homework quickly. Interesting. We never had homework so much in the era of me starting to watch Star Trek, because, you know, homework was a weird thing. Maybe I just kind of don't remember it. I remember coursework, but yeah, I watched it for many years. It just used to be on after school. That and like Thunderbirds. The J.J. Abrams movies, I mean, they're okay. Lots of lens flare. I'm not a big fan of J.J. Abrams particularly. I liked the reboot, but, you know, I'm old school. Picard is, you know, one of my favourite characters along the 7 of 9. I did used to like Janeway, and I lost a lot of respect for her because of the actor. But yeah, big Star Trek fan. Though ironically, I don't have any DVDs of Star Trek. You think I would? But no. Just always watch them on streaming services or try to catch them on catch up.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm not sure where my departure dock is.
Yeah, all the characters in Next Gen are great.
Look here. The Resolute
Oh,
is leaving
Data
from
is the
this
best.
dock.
Oh, you're right. Nerves must be getting to me. Thanks so much, Commander.
He looks like Harry Kim, except he's wearing the wrong color. Harry Kim wore yellow. Who is navigation? So science officer. But yeah. Oh, you had a teenager. Yeah, Wesley Crusher. Obviously.
Starbase 128 has 4 docks. Excuse me. Have you seen a Bolian around here?
Yes, sir. Right back there, near the replicator.
It's a green lady as well.
There he is. Thank you.
Happy to help, Commander.
But yeah, Data was always my favorite character. My favorite episode, or like episode arc,
I'll
was
replicate myself a meal once I'm on
when he
board.
accidentally made Moriarty more clever. Well, when he had to like face off with Moriarty, which again fed into a Picard
Excuse me.
episode. Yes, sorry, I'm just walking through. Hello, I'm fallen. Commander Ermot. But yeah, big fan, big fan.
Welcome to the edge of the galaxy, Commander Rydek. I'm Commander Jan Ermot, Operations Officer on the Resolute. Commander? I hope there wasn't too much trouble getting here. This storm isn't making anything easy for us right now.
It was perfectly fine. No trouble at all.
I'm glad to hear it. We're grateful you were able to come fill our first officer vacancy at such short notice. From everything I've
That
read and
sounded
everything I've
ominous.
heard, we're lucky you were available to us. Coming from a premier starship and all. To our little research vessel.
I'll do my best to live up to expectations.
Oh, I'm sure you'll do just fine. And if I can help in any way, just let me know.
This is going to inspire me to finish off DS9. I know it. Oh, Spot the cat. Oh. I know, right? But yeah.
The USS Resolute. She may not look like much compared to the bigger ships, but as far as science vessels go, she can more than hold her own.
Yeah, there's a whole arc of that in
And she doesn't
Picard.
look so bad considering 6 months ago she was nearly cracked in half, venting plasma, fighting for her life.
It was an accident?
Equipment malfunction. An accident suggests fault, but no one's to blame. It was a planned test, but the warp core was pushed beyond its limits. It destabilized the dilithium, there was a runaway reaction, and the warp bubble deformed. We thought we could reach a higher resonant frequency, but it was more than she could handle. Cost us our first officer and 22 of our crew.
That's what happened.
At the end of the day, we're all responsible for each other.
I can't even begin to imagine what that must have been like for you. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you. It does weigh heavy. There are some things you can't forget.
It's been 6 months. What's the attitude among the crew now?
Unsettled. But I hope that a new mission will help them move forward. If not, move on. Listen. I realize you've known Captain Solano for quite some time. And I'm glad you're ready to bring your best. But I should warn you that when the captain announced you would be the new first officer, there were those who felt it was a mistake, that he should have promoted from within. So you might want to tread lightly at first.
Thank you. Always good to have a sense for what you're walking into.
I just thought you ought to know.
Coming
I
into a
appreciate
job
it.
and having people resent you for it. Very
Starfleet has
familiar with
assigned us a
that.
high-priority mission to the Hotari region.
Not
I'll
at
let the
this
captain
job.
brief you on board.
Previous jobs.
I know he's eager to see you.
Will we be mission ready in time?
We have every intention. The crew has been working around the clock to get the ship ready. There's still so much to do.
Trying not to talk over the dialogue, but it's just I'm so excited about like just Star Trek. I love Star Trek. But yeah, I haven't seen all of the TNG episodes. because I went to university and missed like the end of Voyager, the end of DS9, the end of TNG, and it was
Stuck.
quite frustrating trying to catch up.
I got just the thing.
So there are a lot of episodes that I've just not seen, but I've seen enough to know what happens with stuff. But yeah, but no, I really feel for this new first officer, because yeah, at previous places I've come in and people have been expecting to have my job, and it's not shit. It's not great. It's shit. It's not shit. No, it is shit. It's very shit. No, but that didn't happen at my new job. My new job, everyone wanted me there, and it was such a lovely feeling, and everyone's really lovely, and I still really love my job. It has been really hot this week, and everyone's been really lovely. Luckily, it's been kind of, it was a slow week, which was great, because I was tired. You never saw the end of DS9? No, I still haven't seen the end of DS9. I vaguely know what happens. I know why, because it was in 2000, and when I went to university, I didn't have a TV. So, was a particular thing you were doing in like 2000? That would be why you didn't see the end of it. I missed the end of Voyager and the end of DS9. I don't remember how many seasons of each I missed, but it was 2000 that I missed. And then I missed quite a crucial part of TNG with Leviticus of Borg. But yeah, I've seen enough of like the movies and the other shows that, you know, I kind of know like most of the lore, and I'm sure it'll come back to me as I'm playing this. But yeah, I just really do love Star Trek. I keep pressing A and it wants me to press RT. Oh, that would be really useful. But yeah, it was very hard to watch like shows when you didn't have a TV. First year uni, no one had a TV, and then we got a TV in our thingy house. But then obviously, you know, it's a case of, well, there were like, God knows how many of us. Okay, this is a lot of right-handed stuff. I'm left-handed. My right hand has carpal tunnel, so, you know. Oh yeah, that was why Data was my favourite character.
Is that?
Sort of the appeal of Data and like Worf, that whole sort of doesn't really fit in with the culture trying to understand humans.
I thought the thing was totally fried.
I know, right, Dan, but you know, it was easier when you were a kid because your parents
Nice
told you
work,
when to do
Carter.
things, so it was just easier.
Nothing
Carter!
silly.
And not a moment too soon. The boss wants us down in engineering. Like, now.
I'm now Carter character. Excellent.
Come on!
Oh, these are heavier than they look. Makes more
But
sense
also
than
we had
CRG.
VCR, and my brother used to
You're
record
welcome.
them. So
So clean I can see myself.
Carter Diaz!
oh,
And you know
Carter was
what?
the first name.
Not half bad.
Okay. Well, it had a thing to interact with, so of course I'm going to interact with it. Now the lady is annoyed at me. But I had to pick up the thing. Yeah, this is not a visual novel. This is adventure. But maybe point and click. Not sure yet. Feels more adventure, which is what I'd characterized it as.
Engineering.
I love
I
a look at
heard the
genres
new
after the
EXO just
stream.
arrived. Won't be long before we get underway. I just hope whatever Chovok called us down for, it's something good.
Trill?
I can never tell with him. I'd rather not end up degaussing plasma manifolds.
You and me working together, we can tackle anything he throws at us.
Your
I think
optimism
that's
is positively
Trill.
contagious.
Wrong franchise, Dan.
Looks like we got here before.
Lieutenant Commander Chovak.
It's the Borg.
We were just looking for you, Commander.
Petty Officers Ed Solar, Diaz.
Yes.
I was beginning to think you would be late. We are all hands on deck right now, which means if you are not at your post at the appointed time, I do not have someone to replace you. A point I have been forced to make to Petty Officer Etzelar on repeated occasions.
Apologies for the delay, Commander.
I do not want your apologies. Simply see to it that it does not happen again.
So, I don't suppose you wanted us down here to check in before we go off duty?
Assistant says Fiotola.
Equip yourselves in EV suits to work on the exterior of the hull. I need you to tune the structural integrity field for optimal performance. The subspace distortions and ionic interference we are experiencing are preventing the proper calibration. But this ship must be ready to depart shortly, despite the storm. The precise nature of these disturbances are not fully understood. But many systems have been affected by the wide band of emissive activity.
Whatever it throws at us, we'll be ready. We've got the best chief engineer in the fleet.
I am a Vulcan, Mr. Diaz. Flattery is not necessary. All that I require is that you do your job. Right now, that entails critical preparations, because long-range sensors show that these disturbances will be more severe at our destination, the Hotari system. You have your orders. Do not delay.
Yes,
Roger
Commander
that.
Chovak. All hands on deck.
Oh, what's that?
All hands on deck. That's what Chovak said. You know what that means? It means this ship isn't ready to go out, and the brass know it. So they're throwing every warm body at it. And they're going to leave on schedule.
It all comes down to us, Nilly. We're the ones who will get it ready.
I know what we can do. But this isn't just any old refit or any old relaunch.
Whoa.
Excuse me.
A lot of new faces coming on board. It's gotta be tough coming as a replacement. That's for sure.
They seem all right.
Eve,
Something that happened
you're
6 months ago while they
right.
were off on another ship? Well, that's nothing to hold against them.
Yeah, you're right. I guess getting a little new blood on board doesn't hurt. Hold on. Now there's an old face I didn't expect to see again. Hey, Miranda!
You weren't gonna leave without me, were you?
Miranda, you're here?
We thought you were staying on the Adirondack.
Transfer came in at the last minute, so I figured I'd slum it on this bucket of bolts. Looks like you got her back together pretty nicely.
What is a phrase
wasn't
that
sure
could be
what to
awkward for
expect.
Australians?
I'm gonna take the high road here, pretend you didn't say that, and welcome you aboard.
He's a better diplomat than I am.
And yes, that.
He still owes me a bottle of Saurian brandy. Don't think I forgot.
Oh yeah, it's coming back to me now.
Maybe Carter can rustle up that bottle and we can give you a proper welcome.
Soul Shifter, I think.
As soon as we wrap up this quick little spacewalk.
But yes, thank you very much for the raid. Much appreciated.
Here,
I've
let
got
me help you.
hiccups.
Thanks.
So what's the word? Are you back in the security rotation?
Yep. Still running with the usual suspects.
Whoa.
Good to go. See you on the other side.
Activating magnetic souls.
Where's my cursor? All hands on deck. Why is that a problem with Australians? I'm not getting the joke. It is too hot, and my brain is mush.
That view never gets old.
Let's go.
Oh. Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Resolute. Its ongoing mission, boldly go where no man has gone before. All hands.
Captain Solano should be here momentarily. You'll have to forgive me, I don't know much about Kobleods. But my understanding is you need a steady supply of duridium to keep your cell structure stabilized, or bad things start to happen.
Oh, not a Romulan. Okay.
And we have plenty of
race.
duridium in sickbay, so there's no risk of running out.
Thank you.
Similar ridges.
Feel free to make yourself at home.
Yeah, I know.
And
I know
help
they did.
yourself to whatever you like from the replicator.
Quartz over on the left there. I thought she was a Romulan. I made assumptions. Similar rail ridges, but obviously not the same. But yeah, look, quartz.
The
At least it
first
looks like
mineral
quartz.
Captain Solano ever discovered.
Does look like it's not quartz, but it does
Always
look like
was the
quartz.
nostalgic type.
So obviously we need beryllium to survive. So therefore there is going to be some sort of crisis involving us, you know, at some point.
Can't wait to plot a course myself. Just a sip of something.
Tea! Earl Grey! Hot!
Tea.
Tea! Earl Grey! Hot!
That's lovely.
I think that was actually in the there was a British point and click
Jara Rydek.
silly thing set in space.
Last
Had
time I
tea Earl
saw
Grey hot,
you,
I
it
think.
was graduation from the academy. You'd already secured one of the most prestigious assignments possible. And you were burning with enough ambition to fuel 7 trips around the Necrid Expanse.
It's good to see you again, Captain.
I could not be happier to have you on the Resolute.
I missed the ship
regret
name.
is that we couldn't provide you with a warmer welcome. The arrival of a first officer to her new ship deserves a bit of fanfare.
You can spare me the pomp and circumstance. There's plenty of work to be done without all that.
You always had a work ethic like nothing I'd ever seen. That's just what this ship needs at the moment. As I'm sure you've heard, we've had a rough go of it these last 6 months. The ship suffered some damage, but not nearly as much as the crew.
I heard that you had an equipment malfunction.
Is that what they're calling it? No, that's just someone being generous. If anything, it was a leadership malfunction. We were on the verge of a major scientific breakthrough. A quantum leap forward in warp core technology. 10,000 teradynes per second. The ability to travel at a sustained rate of speed longer and faster than we ever dreamed. What would have been the crowning achievement of my career. Right there. Within our grasp. Until it all went so horribly wrong. We pushed her too hard, and a warp core malfunction overloaded the system, creating a pressure gradient way beyond what the ship could handle. It was heartbreaking. We lost some of our best people. As captain, I have to take full responsibility. It was my decision to make. And I have to live with the consequences.
We all know the risks when we sign up. There are no guarantees. As much as we tell ourselves otherwise.
True. But as captain, my job is to mitigate and manage the risks as much as possible. And that's where I failed. In my defense, I will say, I might have avoided the whole ordeal if my senior staff had been willing to trust me. There was a lot of pushback from my former XO, and I think that cost me his confidence. I don't want you to pull any punches. Certainly not on my account. But once we decide on a course of action, I need everyone to fully commit to the mission. Anything short of that just won't work. And that's when things start to go sideways.
Whether I agree or disagree, I can promise that I'll be honest to a fault.
Good. That's exactly what I'm looking for. But at the end of the day, it has to be my call. Look, I'll be blunt. We can't afford another mistake.
Pretty stones.
Or at least I can't. I feel like my career is hanging in the balance here. We need a win. Something to restore the crew's confidence.
I understand.
On a more positive note, Starfleet has tasked us with what they're calling a mission of the highest priority. Escorting a senior diplomat to Hotari space. Two previously peaceful and otherwise non-aggressive civilizations now find themselves on the brink of all-out war.
So it's a peacekeeping mission.
I see it as a golden opportunity to not only prove what the Resolute and her crew are truly capable of, but also a mission for which we're uniquely qualified. This ionic storm. Our long-range sensors suggest it's several orders of magnitude stronger than anything on record. A total anomaly like nothing we've seen before. And you'll never guess where it leads.
Hatari.
Exactly. Very nearly in the precise location where we're headed.
I wonder if that's why they're
The
fighting.
interference will be exponentially greater. But the diplomat will brief us on the details at the rendezvous.
But are we prepared to embark on the mission?
As much as I'd like to think that's true, I have my doubts. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. I expect we'll have some rough sledding when we arrive, so I need you to prepare the crew for the worst. There's just one more thing I want to clarify up front. The metric that for me will be the ultimate measure of your success.
What is it?
If after serving as my first officer, you don't one day find yourself with a ship of your own, then I will consider it my personal failure. When that might happen is entirely up to you. But it goes without saying, you have my full support.
Thank you. But I feel like I still have so much to learn.
You'll have plenty of opportunity. And if you're willing to put in the work, I'll do everything in my power to help you along the way. Come, let me introduce you to the crew.
Lots of pretty stones. I like those. Where'd he go? Nostalgia for the interfaces.
Everyone, if I could have your attention for a moment. I'd like to introduce Commander Jara Rydek, our new first officer. Some quick introductions. This is Lieutenant Handar, our helmsman, one of the best in the business.
One of?
Well, what he lacks in humility, he more than makes up for in ability.
A pleasure to meet you, Commander.
Likewise.
Next, we have Commander Westbrook, our Chief Science Officer. I've come to rely on his expert counsel on a regular basis.
Pleasure.
Commander Rydek, it is such an honor to meet you.
This is our tactical officer, Lieutenant Bedrosian, who's been looking forward to meeting you for about as long as I can remember.
I've been following your career for quite some time. And I look forward to learning as much as I can from you.
If anything, the honor is mine.
Well, I have to admit, one of the reasons I've followed your career is because you're part Kobliad. Because of what you've overcome. Starfleet stands up
Don't know
for
about
people who
Kobliad.
can't defend themselves. And you were one of those people once. But since then, you've done so much to protect others who need it. I really admire that. So, you've been something of an inspiration to me. Not that I've done anything close to what you've done.
I don't know what to say. That's incredibly flattering, thank you.
I hope someday I can follow in your footsteps.
I'm sure you will.
Overachievers,
of course,
strategicers,
you've
I mean,
already
they give
met
people
Commander
space to be passionate about things.
Please do everything you can to make Commander Rydek feel at home here. I'll be on the starbase. I have an urgent meeting with the starbase commander to get our authorization to get underway. If they drag their feet any longer, we won't make our rendezvous.
And you gotta be the best of
The
the best,
bridge
otherwise,
is
you know,
yours.
people die. The underachievers don't get through the academy. Sit in the captain's chair when you're ready. While I am not currently yet ready, I am going to have an explore. Examine cupboard.
Turbolift could take me anywhere on the ship, but I'm right where I need to be.
How very profound of you.
The helm. The Resolute is a refitted Centaur class, meaning it's capable of quick maneuvers. Can't wait to see what she can do.
Hmm.
Science station. The Resolute is a science vessel, primarily. Might explain Commander Westbrook's attitude. I'll have to speak with him later.
The thing that confuses me is that you've got... Nah, it's just me being silly.
So
But
many
usually, like,
decks.
the navigators are,
Full of
you know,
crew
engineers,
now
the
my
yellow, not
responsibility.
red. But it could be because it's a science vessel, it's, you know, different. But yeah, I'd have the two at the front should be wearing yellow. And there to be more blue people on the, you know, bridge, but hey.
The first officer's seat. My seat. Right now, though, I need to fill in for Captain Solano.
Not the massively comfiest of seats. That one has arms, at least. What's our
Commander,
catchphrase
Chief
going to be?
Engineer Chovak needs to lower the structural integrity field. He's sent a crew out to recalibrate the emitters in response to the danger posed by the storm. We just need your go-ahead.
Permission granted.
Lowering structural integrity field, now.
Entering maintenance mode. Condition blue.
The storm is getting worse.
Looks like they turned off the SIF.
Great. Let's get to that emitter.
This is so cool. There are not enough Star Trek games.
Every time we're out here, I half expect to see her in pieces again.
She's still got some scars on her. It adds character.
When I joined Starfleet, all I wanted was a ride out of town. But this isn't exactly how I pictured it.
On the outside of the ship?
No. Sometimes it feels like we're just part of the machinery. Don't you want more than that? I mean, Starfleet is noble and all.
Yeah, of course I do. Starfleet's an open door. We just have to walk through it. You wanted to get away. I enlisted because I didn't want to wait years just to get out and see the galaxy. I wanted to go somewhere, see new worlds, look up at a sky no one's ever seen before. Just because I'm cranking a hyperspanner up in a Jeffries tube today doesn't mean that's all I'll ever be. Diaz to Commander Chovak. We are at the SIF emitter.
Acknowledged. You may proceed with the recalibration.
I feel like they expressed desire to have a future Therefore, they're going to die. Or one of them is going to die.
Beginning recalibration. Looks good. That wasn't so hard.
I don't think I've played the original series point and clicks. Why is it booping?
Commander Westbrook, right? Chief Science Officer.
You remembered my name and my rank.
Do you have them, Leaky? You should totally stream them. You're good with retro games.
Yes, I am the Chief Science Officer, and I have the dubious honor of being the most senior officer on this bridge. I know this ship inside and out.
Oh, he wanted her job.
Better than just about anyone.
What a very impressive list of credentials.
This is a research and discovery ship, first and foremost. Now with a former tactical officer as its new first officer. I'm curious, though. A Kobliad, or half in your case, is an odd choice for first officer, given your vulnerable condition and all. But if, as an example, we found ourselves in a hostile situation, and you were suddenly incapacitated because you needed an infusion, what would happen then? You'd leave Captain Solano without an XO. Granted, that would be a worst-case scenario.
That's very kind of you to be concerned about my well-being. But you don't need to trouble yourself on my account. I'll be fine.
Well, I wouldn't say I was concerned, just curious, that's all. Listen, can I be blunt, Commander?
I see no reason to stop now.
Commander Sutherland, your predecessor, was one of the best first officers in all of Starfleet. His record was impeccable and his reputation was without equal. I mean no disrespect, but the shoes you're stepping into are almost impossible to fill. He was loved by the crew. And he was one of my closest friends.
I don't think I could ever replace Commander Sutherland. And it would be a mistake to even try.
Seeing as Captain Solano is on the starbase, let me give you an update on this ion storm we're flying into. It's unusual, unlike anything I've ever seen.
While he's
At the
talking,
moment, I can't tell
just gonna
you
go
if the
put this in the
Resolute will
freezer.
shrug it off or if we're putting ourselves at risk. However, if we learn more about its patterns, its nature, we can come up with a scientific countermeasure. Just a moment.
We've got a massive energy wave inbound.
On screen.
Tracing its trajectory.
Starbase docking clamps are holding.
The storm's emissions are fluctuating, coming in waves. And if my projections are right, we're about to get hit by a wideband burst of ionic energy. Like a tsunami.
Uh-oh, get the shields up thingies. Red alert.
Red alert!
Aye.
Get the people in from outside.
Evacuating main gangway and retracting.
Putting sensor visualization on screen.
With the structural integrity field shut down, we can't take a direct hit.
Time to impact. 1 minute.
Shield systems are severely impacted. We have limited protection.
I need every available solution. What are our options?
We can weaken the impact of the storm with a deflector pulse.
There's a better way.
I'm sending all auxiliary power to the deflector dish.
Send the aux power to the shields. We can't reactivate the entire shield bubble, but it's a directional threat. So we can orient all we have towards the wave. You have to believe me.
We only get one shot at this. We can't afford to get it
Shields
wrong.
up.
Bedrosian, get those shields up.
Rerouting power to shields.
Oh,
Stand
we got a
by.
blip for
Ready
it.
to heading. We've only got one shot.
Understood. On my command.
Heading locked. Raise shields.
Please work. We've got people on the outside of the thing.
This is it!
All hands, brace for impact.
Please work. Please work. Please work.
Whoa!
That little thing is going to be annoying.
What happened?
We have experienced a surge of radiation.
Whoa.
Oh, you don't say.
This radiation supercharged the plasma, forcing it to backflush through the system and creating a dangerous imbalance.
That can blow out every primary system on the ship.
Just tell us where you need us.
I need you to traverse the hull to the access port to recalibrate the port nacelle plasma regulator.
On it, Captain. No, sir. Officer. Sir. Yeah, on it. She can't take much more,
We've reached the
Captain.
first access point.
Understood. Do you see the override for the level 1 failsafe circuits?
Affirmative.
Engage the override. It should allow us to stop the EPS flow to the warp engine without triggering an automatic core shutdown.
Failsafe override engaged.
Are you sure? I am registering some crosstalk in the bypass circuit.
We need to route the signals so they don't interfere with each other.
Diaz to Resolute. The failsafes are temporarily
Yeah,
disabled.
it is indeed.
Moving
However,
on to the EPS regulator.
it's hot inside as well, which is the annoying part. It'd be fine if it
Heads
wasn't
up,
hot
Carter.
inside.
What is that?
One of the discharges coalesced.
It's coming right toward us. I'm gonna try to disrupt it with my phaser.
So we gotta climb
Oh,
up
that's
the
a
pylon.
ridiculous amount of
Not that
humidity.
there's really an up, but you know.
Ow! I just
Are
walked
you
into
alright?
one of them.
Yeah. So took most of it. Snuck up on me.
That damaged your suit. Energy dampening is down to 60%.
Seriously? Stop doing that!
Hurt.
Do not get hit again.
I will try. Didn't mean to get hit the first time.
We're at the regulator point. Opening the access panel.
I am now halting the EPS flow to the port nacelle. We have little time before it causes an overload in the engine. You must work efficiently.
I'm trying. I'm getting snuck on by the green thingies.
EPS manifold adjusters reset to neutral. EPS lines to the port warp engine are back in balance.
Boom.
Almost done. Once I cycle the manifold nozzles, Chovok can...
We should have done the other thing. I don't know. Oh shit. Doesn't look good. I don't think we're going anywhere. Shit.
Get down! Diaz to bridge. We just lost the docking clamp.
Okay, it was a clamp. That's okay.
We've got a lot of debris coming down. All vibrations, too. We can't finish the EPS regulation in these conditions. Please advise.
We have to release the ship from that other docking clamp or the hull will be ripped apart.
There's a problem. The clamps are supposed to disengage automatically in an emergency, but it's not working.
Not working.
What are our options?
The docking clamps are fitted with exploding bolts for an emergency release.
We've got crew out there. That'd be like setting off a bomb next to them.
Maybe there's another way.
Starbase is hailing us. Put him through.
Resolute, the remaining mooring arm is failing. You need to disengage from the starbase now. The damage to the station will be catastrophic.
We have crew outside and are looking for the
We
safest
have
way
people
to...
on this station. If that mooring arm breaks, we could lose dozens of crew.
Commander, hear me out. Reverse the polarity of the hull, which theoretically will repel the docking clamps.
And repel the engineering crew right off the hull into the storm.
This is Captain Solano. Put me on screen.
Go ahead. Captain, we have a situation.
Commander, what are you doing? Blow the bolts on the docking clamp.
The captain doesn't know the whole story.
I'm giving you an order.
Oh god.
All due respect, sir, it's a more complex situation than when you
Jara,
disembarked.
I need you to do the right thing. We can't have this go sideways before we even leave for the mission.
The captain made himself quite clear.
They're gonna get hammered with debris out there. Reverse the polarity.
There is protocol.
Unfortunately, this doesn't really help me. Ooh, the stealth scenes. I hate stealth scenes. It's like, yay! They respect me, but also now I have to decide between blowing shit up next to person and obeying captain. And he already had a previous XO who didn't agree and then people died. Or following this guy who wanted to be XO is going to use it as ammunition to prove that I'm not, you know, good at my job. But his solution is going to fling people off into the storm. So do we blow them up or do we fling them into the storm? I don't think there's a really good solution here. I don't really care about the captain so much because he's on the station. He's not in the thing. What I want to know is what's going to happen to Carter and Petty Officer Edsela when, you know, they do a thing. He obviously wants me to obey the captain. I really don't know whether he wants me to obey the captain or not. But I mean, we've been given a direct order, and that is very much...
What is the holdup?
We're going to blow the bolts. Starbase, stand by. We'll warn our
I'm not
crews to take
happy
cover.
with either thing, but by the book.
Repair crew, this is Acting Captain Jara Rydek. Be advised, you have more micro debris in.
It seems better than blowing them off into space.
Cover? Nilly, get under the access panel. It's armored with uranium.
But what about you?
Hi, Circulade.
Carter, maybe we can both fit behind this.
Armor with uranium.
They've blown the other docking clamp. Hurry!
Oh shit. Shit. Oh, thank you, because I would be a little bit screwed. It's one of those things, it's like, it's really tricky to disobey direct orders. It's a military bullshit. It's dark. It's dark. This is not going very well. We've now got no protection from the things. You know, trying to do maintenance during the storm doesn't seem like a great idea. But they're okay, so I'm okay with that decision if they're okay, but they're not going to be okay, are they? Yeah, they're not going to be okay. Shit. Shit! She just got whacked in the head.
I got you. Petty Officer Edselar's hurt and unconscious. I'm gonna have to tow her back to the airlock.
Mr. Diaz, the situation has changed. You are at risk of triggering a substantial electromagnetic arc to approach the main hull the way you came.
But Commander, the way we came is the nearest airlock.
There's an auxiliary hatch near you on the far end of the pylon. You must bring Miss Edselar there to access the interior.
Roger that. Going there now.
Shields are up. Well, shields are only up partially. Duck. Okay, it's fine. They've got to a hatch.
You go first.
What?
Let me save your neck this time.
No, you go first.
No time to fight me on this.
Not on your life.
Let's not let it come down to that.
I mean, I know if I get hit, I'm screwed. Oh dear. Oh dear. I got this. Carter went into the hatch last and was injured.
We made it.
They're safe, bringing the SIF fully online.
Do it.
It's one of those things that's like, I can't imagine how people make these decisions about other people's lives.
Nilly. Neely.
I'm good. Help me with him.
Let's get this off.
Oh, that is a nasty plasma
Medical.
burn.
Got one wounded at my location. Carter. You don't look so good.
Don't worry, they've got a floating bed for you.
You gotta be more careful. I just got here. I'm not ready to see you two get blown to space dust just yet.
Yeah,
Now
but,
let's get
you
down
know,
this
protect
way.
the ensign.
Great.
She'd already been hit in the head. She didn't need to get hit by a plasma burst too.
Status report.
At least he's going to be happy with us
Crew
now
made
he's
it
back on the
inside.
ship.
EPS flow is back to nominal levels.
And
The
we
ship
didn't
is back
disobey
up.
him, so that's going to
How does
be
this affect mission readiness, Mr. Ermine?
comfortable.
The Resolute suffered damage from the exploding bolts, but we've successfully moored to the station. The ship is secure. Our systems are coming back online, but we have a fair amount of repairs before we're ready to go.
I swear the audio is just getting quieter and quieter. Oh, that's because I accidentally put the master volume down. You idiot. When did I do that? It must have been when I was trying to figure out what to do. So, he was pleased we followed his orders. Disappointed. But I thought the other thing put the crew at risk as well. He was dismayed. Respected. Okay. Well, Chovak approved. And yeah, okay. All right, well, I mean, that's a shame, but it was a case of Captain can make things really freaking awkward. She wants a relationship.
Halt on the roll-off of Starbase
Starship.
engineering staff.
There we go.
We have a schedule to keep. Send updates to my ready room. Commander Rydek, with me.
Because it's just at the very beginning. He's getting back on the ship, but it's going to be very uncomfortable had we disobeyed him. We tried to explain. He went, no, just do it. It's really tricky.
What a debacle. I was caught with my pants down. Not even on my own ship when the wave hit. I had to go running out of the Starbase commander's office just to... But you followed my order. I appreciate that. Hell, I'm relieved.
You're the captain of this ship. You give orders, and I'll execute them.
That's right. But you see my problem, don't you? They were all against me on that bridge. And they were ready to go against my orders.
I think you're wrong about that. You still have the respect of the crew, and we have bigger things to deal with. We have a high-priority mission ahead of us and a lot to do to get ready.
We're going to have a pretty big problem if I can't count on the bridge staff. To say
Head
nothing
of
the
engineering
rank and
respects you.
file.
But I can see why you wanted a different XO.
Oh. Drink?
No.
No. Thank you.
Your predecessor, Commander Sutherland, is missed. But for all the adoration of the crew, including the senior staff, I just couldn't rely on him. He would question, undermine me in front of the crew. I sometimes think they still hear his voice. That sort of thing is a way of lingering. And you can't argue with a ghost.
You cannot. You can try.
Captain, perhaps you and the crew would be better served if you look at this mission as a fresh start.
You can never really leave the past behind.
If we don't, you can never move forward.
Now, this won't be easy, but I'm glad I have you here with me.
Glad to be here, Captain.
And despite it all, we got our final Starfleet clearance to depart. So if you'll fetch Mr. Ermot, we'll knock out the final details of any outstanding repairs, and then we'll set out for Hotari.
Yes, sir.
Ready or not, here we go.
The art's done. NCC 82317. All I ask is a tall ship. The star to sail her by. Oh dear. Yeah.
All departments reporting full mission readiness. We've got our full complement on board.
This is my favorite moment, right now.
The start of a new mission is always full of possibility.
The Orion Syndicate could sell it as a drug.
Don't let the Admiralty hear you say that.
Captain on the bridge.
Sit. Sit, everyone. You all know, I'm not big on speeches. We're embarking on the first mission since our refit. Let's make it a good one. Disengage docking clamps.
They got some new ones then.
Docking clamps released.
Thrusters ahead, Mr. Handar. That should do it. Set a course for the Hotari system. Prepare to go to Warp 8.
Aye, Captain.
You know what? You take this one.
Me?
Oh. Engage. Obviously.
Engage.
Simple, but effective.
Easy. Thank you. I'm fine. Really,
They should have seatbelts on that thing.
You don't look so good.
I have to get to sickbay.
Go.
Commander, help me get her inside.
Whoa. Clonk. We used that up quite quickly. We were at 98 before. In the thingy's office.
Well, that was quite a scare. A few minutes more and it would have been one of the shortest tenures on record for a first officer.
Is that the engineer that was out on the hull?
That storm did a real number on him, but he'll live. Just needs rest. You should worry about yourself. Your deridium levels got dangerously low and destabilized your cell structure.
This is definitely one of the more memorable first days I can think of.
My name is Dr. Aram Duval, Chief Medical Officer. To be honest, I've never met a Kobliad before. You're...
rare. I know.
I was going to say special, Your people's numbers have dwindled, despite the Federation's efforts to find a more readily available alternative to the Duridium you need
She's
to
getting
survive.
a fusion of purple. Yeah.
You joined Starfleet and managed to thrive. I imagine the responsibility must be overwhelming. Maybe even a burden at times.
It does make me unique, but it's not a burden at all. I'm honored to be Kobliad, to represent my people.
As you should be. And don't worry, I won't treat you like a science experiment. I just do the science and leave the experiments to Solano.
You don't agree with his methods?
I don't agree with his definition of acceptable risks. Not when the lives of your crew are at stake. My professional opinion is that the accident took a toll. More than he's willing to admit. He's overstressed, operating in the pressure cooker of his own mind.
Yeah.
There's never a good headspace when the lives
And
of
there's
your crew are
trauma,
at stake.
which is not great.
What concerns me is that now he's even further away from the thing he's been chasing his entire career. Breakthrough discovery. The major innovation. Something he can put his name on.
We all have to chase our dreams, don't we? We need to take some risks. Isn't that why we joined Starfleet?
But not at the expense of other people's lives. It's too high a price to pay. I have to admit, I was concerned when I heard
Oh
what
dear, she
happened
doesn't
on
like
the
me.
bridge. You just followed Solano's orders despite having better options in front of you.
Huh. I guess word travels fast around here.
It's a small ship, and everyone's curious about
excuse me.
you, so... Fortunately, your cell structure's almost completely stabilized. And I'll spare us both the lecture, but I do feel it's my responsibility to remind you, without regular infusions of Duridium, you will not live. It's as simple as that.
Understood.
And my work here is done.
Hopefully we can bring her around. The other option was shooting them off into
Lieutenant
space.
Bedrosian.
I came to see if you were okay.
I didn't think that was a better option.
We were all pretty worried on the bridge. No one knew what was happening.
I'm feeling much better. Thank you. It's just part of who I am.
You don't have to explain to me. I understand. I'm just glad you're okay. You trusted me earlier with the shields, and I appreciated that. I want you to know that I have your back.
Thank you.
Literally.
Now, Carter, the emissions that gave you that burn are quite unusual, like everything else that goes with this storm. That's a combination of hyronolin and lectrazine to counter the radiation effects. That should help speed your healing. She's come by a couple of times to see you already. Be brief.
It's good to see you awake again. I was starting to get worried. Not that you aren't in good hands with Dr. Duvall.
I hear you've been checking in on me. Thanks for that.
One of the benefits of working a security rotation. Lots of opportunities to walk by sickbay and stop in. Millie was looking in on you too, by the way. But since it's just us right now, I had a chance to think about this while I was away. And I thought it was important that I just come out and tell you.
It's okay, Miranda. You can tell me anything.
I know that.
Then come on. Just spit it out.
I'm trying. Let me talk. What I'm trying to say is, we've been really good friends for a long time. But I got back here and I couldn't ignore it anymore. I want to see if there's more between us than just being friends.
Oh well, what the heck?
You don't have to explain it. I feel the same way. There is something between us.
So, do you want to find out what that something is? If it's there for you, and it's there for me...
I have feelings for you. But I just don't want to ruin the way things are. You're one of my best friends, and you mean so much to me, and I don't want to risk losing that. I really don't.
I understand.
Sorry to interrupt, but
Neutral.
The patient
Ah
needs
well,
to rest.
I don't know how to
If he wants to get
relationship
back to
anyway.
his old self.
Of course. Hope you get better soon.
Friendship is more important to me, so that's
And
what it is to my
maybe
character.
just forget this conversation ever happened.
She's not happy with that answer, so never mind. That's the drift. Ooh, pretty. Okay, Act 1, Departure. Completed Act 1. Wow, okay, cool. Well, it's a perfect time to have a little break. Okay, she thinks I should independently. Okay, so I'm just going to have a very short pause. I should be back. Don't forget to hydrate, stretch, get refreshments, whatever it is you need as well. Practice self-care, especially if it's hot out there. I should be back in a moment or two. Okay. Cast the drift. Doesn't sound good.
Approaching the rendezvous point outside Atari space.
Helm, bring us out of warp.
Dropping to impulse.
Ionic interference surging, Captain. Shield integrity holding.
We can take it.
We are at the correct coordinates to meet the shuttle.
Commander Rydek, find us our diplomat, if you will.
Aye, Captain. Let's reduce the noise. Filter out environmental signals. I can manually tune what's left for Federation signal types. I've located the shuttle.
Opening comms.
On screen.
Shuttle to Resolute. Good.
Shuttle to Resolute. Debris field. Lost maneuvering. Losing.
I can't get it any clearer.
Clearly you
Won't
lost
get a
maneuvering
transporter lock.
thrusters.
It's just not happening.
Power up the tractor beam. We'll pull them directly into the docking bay.
Diaz, you good to run the tractor emitter?
Yes, sir.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Come on, Diaz. First thing, lock onto the shuttle and stabilize the rotation.
This is the Excelsior.
We're pulling in debris.
Wait.
I'm on it. That's gonna take out the shuttle. Diaz, the bridge. There's a large piece of debris headed for the shuttle. The tractor beam can't handle it.
Can our shields take it?
I believe so.
Commander Rydek, plot an intercept course.
On it.
Here we go. Maneuvering thrusters bearing 53 Mark 17, 200 meters on an intercept course.
Maneuvering.
Got it.
Whoa! Someone's working hard on the bridge. got the shuttlecraft on board.
Good job. We're on our way down to meet them.
Whoa!
Terra firma, so to speak.
Ambassador Spock.
Instantly recognizable. Not anymore.
The captain will be right down to meet you, sir.
In that case, I will wait for him here.
Well, let me be the first to say, welcome to the Resolute, Ambassador.
Thank you, Petty Officer...
Yes.
Carter? Carter Diaz. Sir.
I am
Mr.
pleased to
Corners.
meet you, Petty
Have
Officer
fun. Thank you so
Carter
much for the
Diaz.
raid and the resub.
It appears I have you to thank for my safe arrival. Your assistance arrived not a moment too soon, if I may say so.
Well, it wasn't all me. I got some help from upstairs.
A bombastic approach to clearing debris. We thought we were prepared for our arrival in Hotari space, but it is evident my craft was not sufficiently robust for such intense ionic activity.
That's where I recognized
Storm
it.
has been pretty intense.
There was an element that was most unusual. Before you came to our aid, our maneuvering thrusters and impulse engines were rendered inoperable. So we attempted a short traversal at warp speed, only to find that we could not achieve warp at all, even though our diagnostics computer showed no faults or anomalies. What do you make of that? When all indications say that warp speed is possible, but in practice, we find it is not.
I'd rather investigate than speculate.
A sound principle.
Take readings, run some additional diagnostic checks, and we'll get to the bottom of this.
Quite logical, Petty Officer Diaz. Thank you.
Ambassador Spock.
Excuse me.
I'm honored to have you aboard. I'd like to get right to it. We're already behind.
Who needs sickbay? What did you do, Leaky? Did you walk into something? Provocation to war! Ooh. You burned your finger? Well, that was silly, wasn't it? How did you do that? Put some ice on it.
Ambassador
Get it under
Spock,
cold tap.
My senior staff. It's not every day that a captain gets to welcome a Starfleet legend aboard.
I was hoping there'd be a legend.
You flatter me, Captain Solano. But legend implies the past tense, whereas I am very much focused on our present circumstances.
I didn't mean to suggest you were stuck in the past. You're right, Ambassador. Not the most diplomatic choice of words.
Your experience comes from the past. But our present situation calls for it.
I don't know, Dan. What's the joke?
We were hoping you could fill us in on the details. We got the basics from Starfleet. Two formerly peaceful neighbors are now on the brink of war.
Indeed, and the tension between them grows fiercer by
Ready?
the hour.
Oh, okay. Haha.
Lydia and Hotari. The Lydians are the more advanced species. They made first contact with the Hotari over a century ago. This is Tau, the Hotari moon. It is rich in dilithium, and for decades, the Hotari and the Lydians have shared a mining operation there. The Lydians provide the technological resources, while the Hotari have served as the labor force. The stability of that arrangement was the source of their peace, until recently. The Hotari have suddenly
Does anyone actually like Ready Break?
control of the mining operations and expelled the Lydians from their system. That is the official story, as told by the Hotari. when they requested Federation mediation, but the details remain scant. Communications between all parties have been limited by the ionic interference.
How is it the Hotari were able to turn the tables and take the mines against superior forces, especially after decades in this arrangement?
Unclear.
I think so, yeah.
That question may be the key to a new, lasting peace, and one that I hope we can uncover during these negotiations. But it is unlikely the relatively primitive Hotari forces would stand a chance against the Elydian fleet if this escalates to open war.
Is it breakfast food?
This conflict will result in more bloodshed, which is what we are here to prevent.
And the dilithium trade hangs in the balance.
Clearly the Hotari have
Crunchy
been
nut
exploited
cornflakes.
in this relationship.
Maybe we can persuade them peace is the more profitable alternative for everyone. They both profited from the mines. And for the Hotari, something is better than nothing. Peace is our objective, after all.
We can call it profitable or mutually beneficial, but at the end of the day, the Hotari are still being exploited for their own resources.
True peace is not merely the absence of war. And as such, this conflict will surely come again.
Neither the Elydians or the Hotari are members
I
of
dislike
the
porridge.
Federation, so we can't make them do anything.
There is an additional complicating factor I should mention.
The texture.
In the
And also the
past,
taste.
The Federation has relied on
To
the
put stuff in it
Elydians
to make it taste good.
as a source of dilithium.
That certainly changes things.
The Federation sources its dilithium from a lot of places.
Yeah, and this is one of them.
That means the Hotari have no reason to trust us.
I wouldn't go that far, Commander.
We are completely neutral in this matter, on neither one side nor the other. Any suggestion otherwise would compromise our position. Given the Federation's involvement in the Elydium dilithium trade, Captain Solano and I must make every effort to appear neutral in these negotiations.
What worries me is
Milk
if this
skin.
whole thing unravels and we're at the mercy of the storm at less than full strength.
We can't let it come to that.
Considering what the Ion Storm has done to
Never
our
heard
ship
of Crave, so I
and
don't
the
know what that is.
Ambassador's shuttle, we have to assume the Elydian fleet has had problems with it as well. This recent surge in the energy disturbance temporarily levels the playing field.
Commander Westbrook is correct. The energy anomalies around the Hotari systems have been noted in the past. But they have never been observed on the orders of magnitude we have seen in recent weeks.
If it's
My
keeping
parents
the
don't
two
like milk
sides
skin.
talking
I like
instead
the
of
skin on
shooting at
custard.
each other, that actually helps us negotiate a peace.
And we'll take advantage of that as long as it works in our favor.
And when it doesn't?
All the more reason to learn as much about it as we can while we are here. We do not want to be caught unprepared, should the energy anomaly continue to fluctuate. So I trust we understand our circumstances.
We're operating on a strict timetable here, and we're
The
going
card
to be
has
leaving for the
tea. Oh,
negotiations
great.
shortly.
Hot.
Commander Westbrook, I want you to leverage our systems to investigate the anomaly from here while we're gone.
Ritos is the only chocolatey cereal I like.
Dismissed.
Everything else is too sweet.
I want to
Can't
speak to both of you
abide sweet
privately.
breakfast. Or something that I feel like is supposed to be savory and then
Ambassador
toasted.
Spock, I'd like to make a formal introduction. My first officer, Commander Jara Rydek.
Commander, as you are aware, there are limits to what Captain Solano and I can do in our official capacity as representatives of the Federation. But someone in an unofficial capacity, your first officer, for example, would not be bound by those restrictions. Commander Rydek could ingratiate herself to certain parties behind the scenes, where they may be more candid in revealing information that could lead to a resolution.
She certainly goes her own way. Maybe that helps in this case.
I'm perfectly happy to work outside the lines.
And by extension, you will be doing your duty, Commander.
Just not too far outside the lines. Well, I hope Commander
She does remind me
Rydek
of
will
Commander
have more
Shepard.
luck finding out what really happened than we will through official diplomatic channels.
The fate of the negotiations, the interests of the Federation, and the prospect for peace may very well depend on it.
So no pressure then. Navigational complexity.
Mr. Diaz, I understand you have already discussed the warp drive failure with Ambassador Spock?
I have.
It is imperative that the Ambassador's shuttle be flight ready. I need you both to ascertain the root cause of the system failures he encountered.
I'm surprised, Commander. I thought you would have wanted to work on Ambassador Spock's shuttle yourself.
I respect the Ambassador and his many accomplishments, but I do not derive any satisfaction from interacting with his shuttle as if it were somehow transubstantiated through its association with him. Especially when I have the entirety of this starship to concern myself with.
The Ambassador asked me to take a look, and I'm ready to crack this thing open.
Good. You could learn from Mr. Diaz's focus.
I'll take notes.
Then I will leave you to it. Make note of any abnormalities in your report. Carry on.
It seems like he's warming up to us.
Yeah, he likes us.
Even Chovok has to look at that face and know you've earned some real respect. And I have to admit that I owe you one. You were right to make me go first. I don't know what I was thinking.
You've pulled me out of trouble how many times? Call it even.
Okay. At the very least, maybe I can track down that bottle of Saurian brandy you're still on the hook for. But first, we have work to do.
Ready to go?
All set. Let's run the diagnostic.
Well, this is disconcerting. Wiggly fingers as a
Oh.
mouse pointer.
I know about your talk with Miranda.
You do?
She sent me a Priority 1 dispatch right after your conversation. Knowing you two as well as I do, I thought you'd jump at the chance to, take it to the next level. Why'd you tell her you just wanted to be friends? I was surprised to hear that. I mean, we already know you like her.
Because I do think we should just stay friends. I don't want to do anything to mess that up.
Fair enough.
The trouble is that the acknowledgement
And
of
a direct, honest answer is gonna make it a lot easier to stay friends. Just, when you see her, don't make a big deal of it. And I'll be there to smooth things over.
any kind of mission of interest in a relationship
It's wrapping
ruins
up.
the friendship.
Let's see. The relays along the primary EPS are blown. The backup relays are all intact.
An EPS overload from the warp drive could cause that. But how did the shuttle end up dead in the water?
Huh. Well, maybe the ship's data recorder can tell us something. Here.
They were only about 8 minutes from their plotted warp point. No faults, just
Hey,
those
Lurk.
warnings.
I'm Joe.
What are they?
Subspace variance out of tolerance. What does that mean?
It means the main navigation array lost sight of space somehow.
Will the array going offline cause that?
Yes, but it should have also thrown a fault code.
Well, no, the other option is don't tell them and get over it.
The warp field became inverted suddenly.
I've seen this happen when the center warp coil cracks.
A cracked warp coil throws a fault code.
Still, we should take a look.
There was a complete warp cascade failure.
Wow. They're lucky the shuttle didn't turn inside out.
Makes me think the computer panicked on the warp field equation.
Any one of these failures should have thrown a fault.
If it was caused by a system failure.
None of this caused the relays to blow. Roll forward to when that happened.
Yes, ma'am.
So here, they take a moment to get their bearings and they attempt to re-engage the warp drive.
There. That's the relays blowing.
And look, there's another warp system alert.
They're all the same. Subspace variance out of tolerance, or warp inversions. Finally, there's a complete warp cascade failure.
Then it's one of two things. Either a warp coil is cracked or the navigation array is offline.
That makes sense.
Divide and conquer. You want to check the warp coils or the navigation array? I'll check the other. Let's not
Warp
overcomplicate
coils.
this. One of these systems is likely broken.
I'll check the nacelles for a cracked coil.
Yeah, rom-coms are not a good example of what you should do. Okay, tricorder can record and analyze data. Looking through it will reveal the unseen. Use X to equip or holster your tricorder. Hold RT to scan glowing objects. Okay. Use your tricorder. Some objects you scan will activate a deep scan. Using a deep scan, use LB and RB. Right, there's a lot of things. Routine. No fractures. No deviations.
I checked every coil on the port nacelle for imbalances. If any coil in either engine were cracked, I would have detected it. So, it must be the navigation array.
Except it's not. Checked and double-checked.
Well, the readings don't lie.
Here comes the security detail for the way team. Hey, going planet side?
Yep, as soon as the negotiating team comes down from the bridge. Apparently we don't get to leave just because I'm ready. Should be an interesting ride down to the surface.
How dare they keep you waiting? Don't they know who you are?
I mean, how hard can this diplomacy stuff be? I'm sure I could handle it myself.
No doubt about it.
Hey, Maris. Aren't these those button pushers you're always hanging out with?
And you're the phaser jockeys we always beat in Parisi squares, right?
All aboard for Hotari.
That another one of the captain's railroad things?
Gotta be. I just usually zone out by the time he gets to the whole, steam engines were the warp drives of their day part. Catch y'all later.
You don't want to miss your train.
I do have to go. Back before you know it, sport.
Oh, it's not awkward. I'm just gonna go. Safe travels.
I'll catch up with you two then.
Take care of yourself down there, okay? Stay safe.
Always. Don't leave home without it.
Still neutral. Ooh, I got a bloop for that one. Platonic vibes! I got a Joe achievement!
It'll be fine. All right, where were we?
So, the warp coils in the navigation array are fine, but the nav computer doesn't seem to think so.
I'm out of ideas short of field stripping the shuttle from bow to stern.
You wanna take this out of the shuttle and throw it on the bench?
Oh, real hands-on maintenance. I like it. Okay, the nav computer is patched into the ship.
The ship's computer can double-check our work.
God, I
If the
hope we
shuttle's
haven't
nav
introduced
computer's
a
putting out
virus.
false data, we'll know it.
Let's run through the shuttle's logs again.
I hope this was not a bad idea.
Now. Same. Warp field inversion and a cascade failure. However, the Resolute computer doesn't show the same subspace variance.
We're in the same conditions that the shuttle was in when it failed. Why wouldn't the ship's computer get a matching result?
What if the subspace variance was a momentary occurrence?
That's a possibility, and it would explain why the simulation under our current sensor readings failed to reproduce the issue.
But a subspace anomaly strong enough to cause a warp field collapse would leave graviton ripples for days.
Let's run with the momentary subspace variance theory for now. Roll forward to the shuttle's attempt to re-engage the warp drive. We need the conditions of space around the shuttle at the moment of warp failure.
Resuming simulation.
Error in warp field calculation. Cochrane formula variable.
Cochrane! Zephyr Cochrane.
That right there. Take the shuttle sensor data from that moment.
Computer, why did the warp field calculation fail?
Warp field pressure return non-orthogonal. Results are undefined.
That doesn't help.
Wait, what if we use a different ship?
Put the Resolute into the simulation instead of the shuttle.
Yeah, it should warp just fine. Unless... Computer, run the simulation with the Resolute.
Resolute simulated.
Computer, give me manual control on the warp power.
Static field intensity, warp 1.1. 1.2. 3. Warp pressure is destabilizing. Error in warp field calculation. The warp drive has experienced a system-wide cascade failure. Warp field collapsed. Subspace variance is out of tolerance. Cochrane formula results are undefined.
Bingo.
What-o?
The same moment when the shuttle failed to warp, so did the ship. Whatever happened to the shuttle just happened to us. The Resolute will not sustain warp.
We can't leave Hotari space.
At least we've got thrusters for now. Somewhat hunky's going on. Oh my god, yeah, the flawed reality was just mwah. Aw, I like the planet though. The feasibility of just living on a rock seems... I know it's a mine, but still. Suit of power. I love how they just look like Star Trek episode names.
Ambassador Spock, Captain Solano, welcome to Hotari. We are honored you've come. My name is Tyler Saltaris, Minister of Diplomatic Affairs.
The honor is ours, and this is Commander Jara Rydick, First Officer aboard the USS Resolute. You'll find she has a keen mind, and unique insight into the dynamics between the Hotari and the Illidians.
We are honored to be here, as representatives of the Federation.
I'm so glad.
These must be the representatives of the mighty Federation, the reigning authority in the galaxy. Or so we've been led to believe.
I don't get
Whether
it,
that's
Nikki,
true
sorry.
or not remains to be seen. But either way, we're
It's like
grateful
30
you
degrees
made the
in here.
time to come to our little corner of the universe.
And you are?
This is Galvin, and this is Citron, the heroes of the revolt in the mines.
Ooh, that purple.
Let's hope this is the last time we ever have to come here.
If you'll excuse me.
I think we're about to begin.
I'm assuming it's something to do with Zephyr Cochrane, but I just don't remember the movie that well. And also, Angelisk is a place in Russia, so it could be a thing.
Something about his tone tells me this won't be easy.
That was my sense as well.
I doubt he speaks for all of Hotari, so I would urge patience until we speak with their queen.
Where are the security people? Your hands on your hips like that. It looks arrogant. Ah. Okay.
Ambassador Spock, welcome to Holtari Prime.
The honor is mine, Your Majesty.
That the Federation would send one of their most respected representatives is not only an honor to the Holtari people and their queen, but a recognition of our stature and importance.
Let's get on with it, shall we? With all due respect to the Federation and their ambassador, they have no authority here. We are not members of their alliance. We are not subject to their rule, nor yours. We demand the immediate return of all mining operations to Elydian control, as it has been for centuries and will be for centuries more. That has always been our understanding.
That understanding has changed.
Then you invite war.
And if you cannot remain silent, you will be silenced. But his point is well taken. What is the Federation's interest in this matter? Perhaps you would have us trade one oppressor for another?
The Federation remains neutral. Our only interest is the peaceful resolution of this conflict. We are here at your request, Your Majesty.
For now.
Saying this wouldn't be easy was an understatement. I thought they wanted us here.
Was there something you wanted to say, Captain?
Oh, no. My apologies.
And what about the Kobliad?
She's not
She
part
can
of...
speak for herself, can't she? Then let her. Now then, what is your name?
Little pretty
Commander
cobweb, I love
Jara
it.
Rydek, Your Majesty.
Being a Kobliad, you would know better than anyone. Your people suffered brutal treatment at the hands of the Cardassians.
Oh, so it
Their
is like the
injustice
Romulans.
towards the Kobliad is as unimaginable as it is unforgivable. Not unlike how we have been treated by the Elydians.
As much as they'd have you believe they are the victims here, remember it was the Hotari who attacked us. Hundreds of innocent Elydians were slaughtered without mercy in those mines.
The blood is on their hands, not ours.
Quiet! If after all the Kobliad suffered, you finally had the chance to right
I wonder if
that
it's
wrong,
AI.
to get out from under their control, would you take it? Or would you negotiate a peace?
If the opportunity presented itself, and I wish that it had, more than you can know, then I would right the wrong without hesitation. For the sake of the Kobliad, we suffered enough.
Of course you would. It would be foolish to do otherwise. The Federation is the most powerful, most advanced alliance in the galaxy.
Well, they're doing a great
It's
job.
widely known we have an abundance of dilithium in our mines. And it's in your interest to secure a steady supply.
Your Majesty, if I may.
Ambassador Spock would have us believe you're here as a neutral party in the interest of peace. So why are you really here? I want the truth, not your Federation rhetoric.
I'm sorry, Your Majesty, but it's really not my place to say what the Federation's interests might be.
A great response.
You are their representative.
I am. But Ambassador Spock is better suited to address your concerns.
What they haven't said, but cannot deny, is a simple truth. The dilithium trade would not and will no longer exist without a Lydian involvement.
It's not your bloody
We created
dilithium.
it for the benefit of everyone, especially the Hotari. We've given
their
them
moon.
warp technology. We've let them share in the profits. We've made their lives infinitely better than before dilithium was discovered. All of that goes away if the Federation turns a blind eye to their treachery.
That is enough of your lies! The Hotari are quite capable of running the mines. We've done so for centuries. So tell me, who deserves control of the dilithium trade and the mines on Tau? Who should the Federation recognize? The Hotari or the Elidians? It can only be one or the other, not
Gotta make a choice.
both.
If I have to choose only one, then it would have to be the Hotari.
Well said. How could the
It's
just
their
and
moon.
wise Federation make any other choice?
This is an outrage. The Federation has lost all credibility.
The mines are ours. Lydia will not be deterred.
Why are we?
We'll take
Well, the
back
mines
our
are.
mines by any
They
means
built them.
necessary.
The ore is not.
Blood spilled.
I am
This is
more
not
than willing
going
to
well.
address your concerns, Your Majesty. Yours as well, Representative. But I suggest we could have a more productive conversation with a smaller group. Perhaps only the most essential representatives.
I suppose there is some sense to that. I hope we meet again, Jara Ryder.
Captain's not happy.
Spock and I will cover everything on the diplomatic front. You make
The
nice
screen
with the
tearing's
locals
making my
and
eyes
see if you can
hurt.
get some answers. We need to find out why the Hotari are so willing to risk war. What happened in those mines?
We'll have more luck with the Atari people than we will with the iridium, lydium.
Such rough terrain. No wonder the Hotari are so tough.
Commander, I'm glad you've chosen to side with the Hotari. I knew the Federation would see through the Elidians' baseless claims and protect the interests of my people.
The Hotari have suffered enough at the hands of the Elidians.
I couldn't agree more.
I assume you were there the day the mines were seized from the Elidians.
Not seized. Reclaimed. And restored to their rightful owners. Yes, I was there. We had to be decisive. Before the Elidians could even realize their worst nightmares upon them.
I'm curious why the Elidians haven't fought back. They have the ability to retake the mines anytime they want.
She has extremely wiggly eyebrows. Slightly distracting.
Courage is another. The Elidians know any hostile action on their part will not end well. They respect one thing above all else, and that is force. The greater the force, the more certain the outcome. Any talk of making peace is just that, and worth little without the strength to secure it. Which makes me wonder about your ship, the Resolute. Undoubtedly the Federation's finest warship. Ready to contend with anything the Illidians might have in store. Or is that not true? Maybe I've misjudged it.
No need to worry. Even in a worst-case scenario, the fleet is always within reach.
But it would probably take them quite some time to get here.
Maybe. Or we might have other ships in the sector.
Of course.
Sidron.
A pleasure meeting you, Commander. I'm sure we'll cross paths again.
Nice. We need to talk to some of the workers.
Soothing.
Commander Rydek, I'm encouraged to see the Federation supporting my people. I'm afraid of what might happen without your help.
I'm glad to hear it. I just hope you're not the only one who feels that way.
I apologize for that. These are unusual times, to say the least. Much is changing. I saw you speaking with Sidron, our national hero. I'm curious, what did he say?
He seems to be of the opinion that negotiating for peace is a waste of time.
Because force is the only blunt instrument he understands. He's a miner, not a diplomat. For the first time in our history, the Hotari have the upper hand. We see ourselves as strong instead of downtrodden. New voices have risen up. Old voices shouted down. Galvin and Sidron have become national heroes. Now, they have the Queen's ear. Better or worse, depending on your perspective.
I get the sense you don't exactly trust them.
I don't trust their instincts, which are leading us to war. My fear has been that the Illidians will launch an attack and crush us. You've seen their starship, no doubt. They could have retaken the mines whenever they wanted to, but it never happened. And as strange as this may sound, I'd almost say they're afraid. I just don't know what they're afraid of. It's still the same bluster and bravado you would expect from them.
Do you think it has something to do with the Ion Storm? Right now, it's stronger than ever, isn't it?
It's entirely possible. I'm not a scientist, but I do know the storm has knocked out all kinds of systems. So maybe the Illidians weren't willing to risk their ships, given all the interference. Since the day of the revolt, Galvin has seized control of the mines and restricted all access. No one's allowed without his personal authorization. And they've taken over a section of the palace with just as much secrecy and security. I'm told it could be something they brought back from the mines.
Uh-huh.
I've made inquiries, but everyone pretends it doesn't exist. I strongly suspect they're hiding something.
What do you think it is?
I've heard rumors it's some sort of ancient artifact, but I haven't seen it myself.
How can we know?
I'd better see what's happening.
Do you think you can find out what they're hiding? I need to see proof of something before I can make my case to the Federation.
I can try, but even if I found it, I might not know what to make of it.
Take this. You can use it to capture whatever you find, and then send it to me.
Thank you. I will let you know what I find. And I look forward to our meeting again.
Yellow hovering over our head.
Sorry, I couldn't
it's
help but
flags.
notice you were speaking with the Hotari this whole time. I figured in the interest of fairness, I should offer another perspective.
Of course.
Please.
I'm probably
the
not
flag.
telling you anything you don't already know, but these negotiations rely on the Federation's neutrality, as does any hope you might have for a supply of dilithium in the future. So, why you would choose to side with the Hotari escapes me. Without Lydian involvement, there is no dilithium trade. Clearly, you weren't aware.
We are and will remain completely neutral. Our only interest is the peaceful resolution to this conflict.
As is ours. Of course, the question is, at what price? Major Salit Arminta, Special Attaché, Lydian Armed Forces. Pleasure to meet you, Commander. I have my issues with the Hotari, but I have to give them some credit. They know how to seize an opportunity. Inciting an uprising the same day as a massive, once-in-a-lifetime ion storm.
Our assumption was that this storm was just an anomaly.
Yes, a very convenient anomaly. At least
everyone
that
think?
was what we were told.
Conspiracy?
Of course, I wasn't there.
You sound skeptical.
Well, the official story is that it was the storm that enabled the revolt. How else do a bunch of unarmed, unorganized miners seize control of an entire moon, much less thousands of mine? But I've talked to people who were there. They tell a different story. They say they're lucky to have escaped with their lives. That it was more than just the storm. That somehow the miners were able to harness the energy from the storm. I know it sounds crazy. I'm not even sure I believe it myself.
You just answered your own question. How do a group of miners do something that in theory can't be done? That's how. Harnessing the storm.
But even if it's true, how does that even happen?
You tell me.
If you'll excuse me, Commander Rydek.
So, we're thinking some sort of artifact gave them control over the ion storm.
Well, that was a disaster.
What happened?
The Hotari refused to concede anything, so the Elydians stormed out.
The Hotari did not invite us here as peacekeepers. I hope your efforts were more fruitful than ours.
Gravitational harmonics failing to resolve. Warp bubble stability degrading. Increase output to maximum.
Increasing warp output to maximum.
It's happening again.
It is evident that presently, the Resolute cannot achieve warp propulsion.
Since our diagnostics rule out any problems with our warp systems or anything about the ship, the problem appears to be the fabric of space itself.
Space itself? You're saying something about this region of space prevents warp travel?
Prevents it, or can't sustain it.
However improbable, that appears to be the case.
The storm didn't stop us from leaving space dock and traveling here. But could it still be causing this interference with warp travel?
We must follow sound investigatory principles. Do not let an assumed conclusion drive your analysis.
Sometimes we need a little inspired thinking, Mr. Chovak. Captain Solano is on his way back from the negotiations, and I want to have some answers for him when he gets here.
Indeed. Given the facts at hand, we may be able to deploy subspace probes around the ship to construct a clear picture of the phenomenon.
Around the ship. I'll prep a shuttle.
Scientific methods!
I'm setting up a waypoint at a distance roughly corresponding to the edge of our warp field. When we get there, I'll deploy the first probe.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Forwards, backwards, under and over. Okay. Forwards, backwards, strafe. I'm not very good at strafing.
Commander Westbrook, the Resolute systems are calibrated to receive the probe's readings. We are standing by to reproduce the warp field collapse after the first probe is deployed.
Thank you, Mr. Chovak. We'll be in position shortly.
And, Mr. Diaz, do take care in piloting the shuttlecraft. Now is not the time to indulge in the human penchant for joyriding.
Hey, I haven't done anything yet.
Chovak probably isn't such a fun guy to work for, huh?
Nah, Lieutenant Commander Chovak's not so bad. You know, once you get used to him. And, I've learned a lot working under him.
Nah!
I have a feeling I'm going to have to work harder to be a political animal like you. With this new first officer coming aboard. This is far enough. Transporting the first probe into position.
It's the probes we helped move earlier in the thing.
Westbrook here. The first probe is deployed.
Understood. We are reading it. We are about to replay the simulation.
How's everyone's weekends going? Anyone playing anything cool?
Problem?
I'm just not getting any traction with her. Commander Rydek. She rejected my plan to use a deflector pulse against the storm surge. She didn't listen to me when you were out on the hull and I was trying to make it safer for you.
Because it didn't make it sound
I'm not saying
safe.
there's anything wrong with the new XO. I'm sure she's a fine officer, even if we don't see eye to eye. But
you're playing trucks
she
and
didn't
it's
go through
rubbish.
what the rest of us did. You know that. And it's hard to figure out why she'd be the one Solano chose instead of, well, one of us.
I've heard some good things. You should at least give her a chance.
I'll take that under advisement.
Test is running. Warp field collapse in 3, 2, 1, mark.
Whoa. What was that?
All right, that is definitely a problem with the fabric of space. We need to get another probe out there.
The green electricity
With 2
is not
points
great.
of data, the Resolute and the probe, we've managed to get an interference pattern. I'm setting a waypoint to a particularly strong area of interference. We'll deploy the second probe there. Listen, I'm gonna give you a piece of advice I wish someone had given me. Make sure you're never just one thing. And don't get so focused on what's in front of your face that you lose sight of the big picture. Before Rydek showed up, Captain pulled me into his ready room and told me he didn't think I had the people skills to be first officer.
Be safe.
What a load of crap.
Well, if you're asking, I think you're a people person. After all, here we are. Me, an enlisted officer. You, one of the senior staff. Talking like old buddies.
I should send Solano to talk to you.
I hope that the pavement's not too hot for his little footsies.
You've got potential. You're a capable engineer. You're good in the field. Keep up the good work. And who knows? A solid jack of all departments like you could be Commander-in-Chief of Starfleet one day. Hell, Admiral Jellicoe started as a shuttle pilot. And there are places to go in the enlisted ranks, too.
I don't know.
Oh, be
I'm
safe.
pretty happy where I
Ooh,
am.
shit.
You must be a glutton for punishment. Lieutenant Commander Chovak has been known to take decades to warm up to people.
Well, he likes us. He doesn't like the other us.
Here. This is close enough. Stop the engines. Deploying the probe. Westbrook to Commander Chovak. We're ready for another sampling of data.
Very good. Running the simulation again. Warp field collapse in 3, 2, 1. Mark.
There it is again.
I saw it. It seems to be directional.
Well, what about the scans? Anything?
Here's the readings in relation to our local space. We've got the Resolute, Otari Prime, and the probes.
All this interference is overloading the sensor buffers. We're gonna have to triangulate the sensors manually. We got something.
These markers indicate peaks in the gravimetric interference patterns.
Let's see if I can find some more.
Can't find any more. Ah, no.
Hold up. This is coming from the moon.
A beam that blocks warp travel.
Aimed right at us.
Someone is doing this intentionally. I don't know how they're doing it. This is like nothing I've ever seen.
Why would they be doing this? We came here to help these people. And now we're getting hit by some warp-killing weapon?
Now, look here. It's current readings of the ion storm.
These concentrations. They line up with the interference pattern. The storm and this beam, they're coming from the same place.
Carter, whatever petty local conflict brought us here, it's just a small part of something much bigger. Presently, we don't have an explanation for how they're doing this. One thing is clear. This is no fluke.
Thank you, Mr. Westbrook. I want a full briefing when I'm back on board. Solano out. A targeted weapon that inhibits warp travel. Coming from the moon Tau.
That would explain the difficulties my shuttle encountered. More importantly, the tenor of the Hotari during the negotiations.
And here I thought the Elidians would be the problem. Coming to peace talks in a warship. This wasn't supposed to be so complicated.
We're right to be worried. If they're targeting the Resolute and we can't go to warp, that effectively leaves us at their mercy.
Which puts us in a rather difficult position.
Especially if they have more tricks up their sleeve.
Tylus, the Hotari representative, said she thought they found something in the mines. Galvin and Sidron brought it back to the palace, but they're keeping it under tight security. She's going to investigate it. I gave her my tricorder. I expect she'll contact us soon.
You found an ally.
Why would Tylus help us? Go behind her people's back? It's a fair question, considering.
Out of all of them, she's the one who seemed to genuinely appreciate that the Federation was involved. She believes in us, and I think we can believe in her.
That may be true.
She's certainly more likely to help than the other Hotari we've met.
That raises another question. Specifically, what do the other Hotari have to gain in bringing us here, only to make this hostile maneuver against us? There must be some motivation.
Unless they changed their minds between when they asked and when we got here.
That's the thing. It doesn't make sense to bring us here. Tylus said that Galvin and Sidron have restricted access to the mines, even to the Hotari. So they don't want anybody to learn what they've found.
Then calling in the Federation is a funny way of going about it. I don't think the Elydians know what's really down on that moon either.
Major Armintus said the revolt defied explanation. That the Hotari miners somehow harnessed the energy of the storm.
Harness the energy of the storm?
Doing that is beyond even our capabilities.
So is a weapon that disrupts warp travel.
There have been civilizations and entities, both past and present, far more technologically advanced than the Federation.
The Elydians and Hotari don't fall into that category.
But that is all the more reason to investigate further.
Commander Rydek, sorry to interrupt. We've received an urgent call from Hotari. The Queen's advisor, Tylus, has asked to speak with you.
Put her through.
Galvin and Sidron are still with the Queen. I've enlisted help to gain access to the room they have under guard. I don't have much time.
I'm not supposed to leave my post.
It's only for a moment. I so appreciate your help.
I found something. I'm sending you a scan.
Whoa, it's a console.
Got it.
Hey, Jesse.
Tylus, if we needed to gain access to the mines on Tau, is that something you could help us with?
How you doing?
I suppose it wouldn't be easy, but...
It's hot here. I am dying.
Tylus.
It's 30 degrees inside.
Reconnect.
Well, it's 40 in the thingy bit. It's not that much hotter outside.
Sorry,
It's
Captain.
very much
Lost
hotter
all
inside.
contact.
We can only hope she escaped without harm.
It was hard to tell.
Oh, you're brushing up on your German. We have to help her.
We have to help her. Send another shuttle.
What's
We're
the
not
name?
doing anything yet. Not until we know more.
I'm curious. Or is
Let's
it
see
secret?
the scan of whatever the hell that was.
Tylus suspects this came from the mines on Tau.
It appears to be
Ich habe ein
ancient
bisschen
origin,
Deutsch,
but
aber
markings
da
are
ich spreche
unfamiliar.
sich nicht sehr gut.
We can run a full analysis when we get back to the Resolute. But if this came from the mines, then it might be the key to how they got the upper hand against the Elydians.
Then we have to go into the mines.
The Federation would not allow that. We were, after all, sent here to be a neutral party in a peace negotiation.
I'm going to pause to look at that. Rando Dampf Shift. Can't actually see it. Rando Dampf Schifffahrt Gesellschaft. Gesellschaft. What does it translate to? Rando Dampfschifffahrt Gesellschaft. Do they have an alternative name? Because Radikaler Scharfschütze 99. I can do that one. That means Radical Sniper 99. Rando Dampfschifffahrt Gesellschaft would be my, stab at it. But this is not like when you have like someone's name and it's like, oh, do you have an alternative name so I can pronounce it? This is a username. This is not like offensive to say, do you have something that is easier to pronounce here? You know. We still haven't really met Calloway again. I kind of hope to have more interaction with him, especially because he's on my little radar thingy. I'm going to do another playthrough where I completely disobey the commander, the captain, and see if I can get Westbrook to like me. I have got the hiccups. It perplexes me though. The captain seems to mostly approve of me right now, which is great. The old team name used to translate to our alcohol team as a volleyball problem. Ooh. Disobey, violate the Prime Directive. I'm not violating the Prime Directive. Okay, so she's still my friend, but she's just annoyed with me. Gesellschaft. I feel like I should know what that means. I'm probably swearing in German, you know, saying this out loud. So, you know, if there's anyone that does understand German, I do apologize. As I said, my German is extremely small. I did like several years at school, which was many, many, many years ago, and I've never really gone back to it. But I mean, Carter seems to be very well liked, despite the romantic platonicness, which, to be fair, I think is not a bad thing, you know. You can like someone but still prefer to be friends with them. Yeah, we're a team player. We are, because we basically said this wasn't just us. This is the whole thing. Whole team.
Demonstrate that the Hotari have acted in bad faith, which would enable us to investigate the mines on Tau with full justification. But of course, we would need conclusive proof before taking action.
Whatever this artifact is may be proof enough, at least to satisfy the Federation.
Especially if we can show the Hotari are controlling the warp disruption and targeting the Resolute.
We may have a better understanding once we analyze the device. But a mission to the mines, covert or otherwise, is not out of the question. And I will handle the Federation.
I like languages. Just sometimes it's really hard for me to learn them.
As
it's
I
like
was telling Carter, I want all the
sometimes I can
get on
just
this warp
instinctively understand stuff, but sometimes I'm just like, this is just
shuttle has been recording data all the way back from
gibberish
Hotari.
to my head.
Even better than our probes. So pull the sensor and engine ISOs from the Melville when it sets down.
Will do.
Yeah, interesting pattern matching. Yeah.
I'll join you and Chovak down in engineering to run another analysis after the briefing.
Depends how familiar the patterns are.
I didn't like this warp problem when we thought it was some astronomical anomaly. And I like it a hell of a lot less now that we know someone is doing it to us.
Whoa.
How does it work? What do we even do about it?
What do you say we pull these chips and find out?
Took some damage on the way. That ionic interference scored the hull plating. Might be some micro welds. Let's try pulling together.
All right.
I think it's just quite heavy.
2, 1. It won't budge. Gotta be the storm damage.
Or possibly just an over-exuberant sound effect.
Welcome back. Any excitement down on the surface?
Excitement? No. Nothing like that.
Hey, can you hand me the EJ7 interlock? From the toolbox.
I don't know what that is.
Not much use for one on a security detail, huh? Carter?
Yeah, I'll get it.
That's not how it works, Jesse. They're just normal humans. Awkward.
I'll apply pressure while you decouple the panel.
Here, I'll help.
Teamwork! She's acting a bit weird. Whoa.
We've got this.
Open up and say ah.
Thanks for the hand. We have to get these isolinear chips down to engineering.
No problem. You really know everything about these ships, don't you? The tools, the systems. Like a walking Starfleet technical manual.
Well, I wouldn't say everything.
Yeah, that could be a thing.
I can see that.
She's still neutral
Come on,
with us.
Start pulling chips.
Oh, you don't shine light in my eye, it's rude. Oh, the right stick is slow. Pretty. Oh no! I dropped one. Oh dear, what's that?
What's this?
That doesn't look good.
Kind of crystal formation?
Whoa, that was way too fast.
Whoa. This substance is a quantized spin crystallization of hydrogen, carbon, and lithium. It's emitting tetrametric pulses at an interval of 3.8422 seconds.
Quantized crystallization isn't natural. I mean, it's only theoretical as a means to engineer
Sounds
matter
very
on a
complicated.
subatomic level. What's it doing in there?
It's a tarp. It's a tarp.
Wait. Regulation 364, subsection 9.
What?
Regulation 364, subsection 9 orders that in the case of an unknown foreign substance infiltrating a sealed system, it will be placed in secure confinement before further examination. Retrieve a containment module.
Don't you think we're more equipped to deal with whatever this is?
Yes.
No. Before anything else, this is a security issue. You don't even know what this is.
Which is why we need to study it.
Once it's contained.
This is another piece of the puzzle we're trying to put together. We should be investigating it.
And you can. In the containment lab. But protocol is protocol. I can't make an exception.
It's
Not
so
even for you two.
hot.
I'm still going to report these crystals to Commander Westbrook when we send the shuttle data.
And I will inform my superiors. I'm taking this just as seriously as you are.
It's
I
so
overheard
hot.
talk about the warp disruption on the shuttle. Now these crystals? Maybe this situation is more than we can handle with just a science vessel. We could trigger a distress call, get Starfleet to send more ships. Or I could send a message to my old CO on the Adirondack. Get some combat-tested vessels.
Miranda, you gotta be more careful. Someone hears that, they could think you're talking mutiny.
I'm just trying to figure out how we can help.
We just have to get to Tuesday.
Okay,
Yes,
stand
but
back.
when has the weather ever been right?
Get this to the containment lab. We'll get it set up for you. I'll let you know when it's safely confined.
Oh, we'll be there.
Last thing you want is to study this down in main engineering and have it explode next to the warp core. I just don't want to take any chances.
I'm mistrusting her and I don't know why.
Not with my friends.
No, why do I
You and
mistrust
Miranda
her?
seem to
What
be
am I
back to
picking up
normal.
on?
But She was a little off. I think this whole situation has her spooked. Maybe she knows more than us? Or it's because this is all happening so fast?
Yeah, there was something a little off about her.
Like that talk about sending a distress call?
Even
That
before
was
then.
pretty out there. She was probably just thinking out loud. I'm sure she'll come to her senses.
Oh no, we lost our
This
friendship
mission
thing.
has
with
enough
them.
complications stacking up.
We were agreeing with her. Why did we get a neutral?
You, me, and Miranda too.
Commander Rydek was able to work behind the scenes during the negotiations and made contact with a representative from the Hotari delegation named Tylus. She mentioned an unusual artifact of unknown origin being held under tight security within the Hotari Palace, which she believes came from the mines on Tau. Now, this artifact might have a connection to the revolt, to the storm, and to the warp disruption we now know has been targeted at the Resolute. Commander Rydek, if you want to take it from here.
Of course. Tylus managed to infiltrate the heavily guarded location within the palace and sent us these scans using my tricorder. It appears to be some sort of control panel, possibly connected to the warp disruption weapon originating on Tau. Of particular interest is this symbol, which we couldn't identify the origin of.
The Federation database has records from a vast number of civilizations. If anyone from Starfleet has come across this before, the system should recognize it.
Cross-referencing with Federation records.
Displaying symbols from Federation database with a 90% probability of match or higher. Select a symbol to further analyze. .2% match.
Got it.
Ah! I am so smart. The Takan Empire.
So, what are we looking at?
The design and composition indicate this is a glyph associated with the ancient Khan Empire. Their civilization collapsed over 600,000 years ago, but once spanned millions of systems with a population numbering in the trillions.
Fascinating. The Takan were once the most advanced, most powerful civilization in the galaxy.
Is it possible the Hotari found Takan technology?
I wonder if they even know what they have.
Our knowledge of the Takan is limited. I have only encountered passing references to them.
I can't speculate about how much they know, but one thing's for sure. They know how to use it.
Indeed.
Which might explain how they seized control of the mines.
And targeted us with a weapon that prevents warp travel.
Computer, what is the last recorded discovery of other Takan artifacts?
On stardate 41386.4, the USS Enterprise D, under the command of Captain Jean-Luc Picard, discovered a Takan outpost in the Delphi Ardu system. According to the mission summary, an unbreakable energy-draining field was deployed against the Enterprise and a Ferengi ship. The Enterprise was only able to escape after negotiating their release with an entity known as Portal 6-3, Guardian of the Takan Empire.
Unbreakable energy draining field. It starts to make sense.
What else is there?
There's a lot here. Let's take it piece by piece.
Select the aspect you wish to learn more about.
Someone from the Takan Empire is actually still around.
Or at least was, 16 years ago.
Computer,
Okay, that gives
what
us some
other information
context.
do you have on Portal 6-3, Guardian of the Takan Empire?
The entity known as Portal 6-3 is of an unknown nature. A biped humanoid, he was unaware that the Takan Empire no longer existed at the time of the
I
encounter.
don't know if I've seen that
He was
episode.
able to control the crystal-based technology of the Takan outpost through apparent telepathic means. It was by his choice that the Enterprise was released from the energy draining field after Commander William T. Riker of the Away Team argued on behalf of both Starfleet and the Ferengi.
Telepathic control of their technology.
As I
I
have said,
suppose Spock
they
takes
were
it
the most
anyway.
advanced civilization in the galaxy.
The technology to capture and hold the Federation flagship would have to be unbelievably powerful. Computer, what else can you tell us about the energy
Was
draining
Spock not
field the
there?
Takan used?
The Enterprise D was unable to break free on its own. The precise nature of the technology was never fully understood. Only that the crystalline technology used was beyond the comprehension of then-current Starfleet science.
The engineering team found a quantized spin crystal formation in the shuttle you took to Hotari. They registered tetrametric radiation coming from it.
We have Takan technology on board right now?
We might. I'll run a full analysis in the containment lab.
What sort of planet is Delphi Ardu 4?
Delphi Ardu 4 is an M-class planet, a barren rocky world with little to no vegetation and frequent ion storms. The giant crystals that grow there absorb energy, but it is not understood how they do so. The entire Delphi Ardu system, consisting of 11 planets, was considered completely uninhabited until the encounter with Portal 6-3.
Frequent ion storms. That can't just be a coincidence. There appears to be some sort of restriction order from Starfleet. Computer, explain this restriction.
A Starfleet directive similar to General Order 7 forbids entering the Delphi Ardu system or attempting to make contact with Portal 6-3.
Starfleet doesn't throw up a no trespassing sign for just anybody.
I suppose it makes sense considering what happened to the Enterprise D.
The Elydians should have crushed the revolt. But if the Hotari have Takan technology and can control it, I see why they're willing to negotiate peace. For all we know, this could be just the beginning. And we're up against something greater than we can imagine.
For now, it's probably best we don't let on how much we know.
Play our cards close to the vest. Smart. I agree. Then when the time is right, we can confront them.
Diplomatically, of course.
Right.
We've been able to triangulate the source of the ionic interference and warp disruption to a specific mine on Tau. Engineering used the latest data from your shuttle to pinpoint its origin. There.
So we know where to look.
We need to know what's down there. What the Hotari are hiding, to better understand what we're up against. And to neutralize it if we can.
Captain, embarking on a mission to the Hotari moon would not be viewed favorably by either side. However, given the circumstances, we are entirely within our rights to defend ourselves.
I just want to make sure this doesn't blow up in our faces. Which is why I'm thinking of sending Commander Rydek on a covert mission to Tau. Assuming you're up to the task. It would require absolute secrecy. And obviously, it's not without risk.
I'll get the away team in and out. They're in safe hands with me.
Under normal circumstances, that would be the case. But given the sensitive nature of this incursion, I'm afraid you'll have to go it alone. I'm hoping Tylus can accompany you. The priority is to avoid detection. It's a calculated risk. The last thing we need is to get caught and then blamed for violating our neutrality and aggravating an already tense situation. We can't afford any mistakes, which is why I've chosen you.
Tylus will be essential to my success. Not only
Please
her
get your
knowledge
purple
of the
juice
mines,
first.
but her ability to gain access,
we
particularly
don't want you
now that we know
collapsing.
which mine we need to get into.
Make sure she understands the need to keep this covert.
She's not going to want her people to know about this.
Get in touch with Tylus and make the necessary arrangements as discreetly as possible.
Bridge to Captain Solano. The Elydians have moved additional ships to the edge of the Hotari system. Current heading is straight for the homeworld.
Understood.
It would seem we no longer have the luxury of waiting. In that case, may I suggest you and I return to Hotari Prime? Doing so will provide Commander Rydek as much time as possible to complete her mission.
Agreed. We'll hail the Queen's delegation from my ready room. We all know what we need to do. Dismissed.
I'll be finishing soon.
Petty Officers Diaz
Just kind of
and
hoping to get to the end of
Where's
chapter
the crystal
2.
formation that you found in the shuttle? I have tasked Ensign
But good luck,
Calloway with
Jesse.
performing a full analysis of the tetrametric pulses.
Security brought it to the containment lab.
I was just there. They don't know anything about it. Security never checked it in.
Miranda never got there?
She's the one that had the crystal formation?
Yeah, her and the rest of the security detail from the negotiations.
Diaz, Tamaris.
I got this. Edslar to Miranda Maris.
Commander Westbrook to Petty Officer Miranda Maris. Respond.
Her name keeps getting longer.
Something's not right.
She's still on the ship. She has to be.
Computer, locate Petty Officer Miranda Maris.
Petty Officer Miranda Maris is in the isolinear storage array on Deck 5.
I knew we didn't trust
I'll go
her.
find her.
Good.
I am sure Mr. Diaz can attend to this on his own.
She's my friend. We're gonna get clunked on the head again, aren't we? Something's definitely not right. Don't know what yet. There are chips on the floor. That's not good. Oh, maybe that's just an artifact though, because there's chips on the floor there as well. Oh no, no.
Who did this?
Obviously it's a really good decision not to have a relationship with her. She seems to be a traitor. Yeah, I'm thinking this is still point and click. It's very Telltale and Life is Strange type. Telltale don't nod type controlees. You know, you've got the story choices. But it's not a visual novel because of the action bits. What do you think?
What the?
Oh, it's just you. I'm busy right now. Why don't you come back later?
What's the matter? Were you worried it was gonna be someone else?
No. I mean, I'm glad it's you. But I'm through here, so I can't stay and chat. I have other things to do. Sorry you came all this way for nothing.
But hold on a second. Commander Westbrook said the crystal formation we found in the shuttle never made it to the containment lab. He sent me to find you.
I don't know why he'd say that. I brought the crystals to the lab myself. Whatever he told you, he got it wrong. All I know is where I left them.
Westbrook wouldn't lie about that.
Are you really so sure?
I just said he wouldn't.
then maybe he's mistaken. I don't know.
You're doing something dodgy.
I appreciate that
I
you
don't
came
trust
to
you.
check on me, but I'm fine. You worry too much. We're on a starship.
I'm worried because you're acting
Maybe.
strange. One minute you're citing regulation to take the crystals, and now you don't seem to care that they've gone missing.
She was acting strange
And what are you
before the
even doing
crystal
in here?
was discovered.
Will you drop it? I don't like
I'm
being
thinking
interrogated,
traitor.
Carter.
Like, maybe she's actually something in
wait up.
disguise. I don't know.
I don't know what I did to deserve this kind of treatment from you. I'm sorry. I'm under a lot of stress right now. Just tell Chovak or whoever I don't know where the crystals are, and let me go about my business. I know things aren't the same for us, and I want to talk about that.
I don't know what it is, but you're hiding something. What's in that storage drive?
It's secure data. It doesn't concern you.
Miranda, hold on.
No. Get out of my way.
So I see you found each other.
You were taking so long, the commander sent us to see what the problem was. Diaz, you were sent here with specific orders, and fighting your crewmate wasn't one of them. What the hell is going on here?
Let's just let them explain.
I'd like to hear that, because I know what it looks like.
There's something seriously wrong with her. She's not herself, I'm telling you.
What does that mean?
It doesn't mean anything.
Well, for one, she was copying data onto this.
This drive is unauthorized.
There are ISOs all over the floor.
And that's why I was in here, investigating this situation. And when Carter came looking for me, we got our wires crossed. It wasn't anything more than that.
Look, I wish I was wrong about this. That I was overreacting. I really do. But I know what I saw. And it's not what she's saying.
I can't believe this.
I don't know what's going on here, but I think we need to call it into security. She can explain herself in a brig.
Hold on a minute. We don't need to put this on anyone's permanent record.
Oi! Yes, we do.
Carter said you're not yourself. If something's wrong with you, we should head to sickbay and the doc will fix you right up.
Yeah, I haven't felt right
No,
since
you.
Hotari.
Damn it! You just offered her
I think I should see
excuse.
the doctor.
You just
You
offered her
two
an
know her?
excuse.
If you really think she's not well, we can take her to sickbay first.
No, brig.
But what I know is this is a security breach.
Yes.
And we should treat it as such.
Please,
Whole
just
security.
let me go see the doctor.
I'm sorry.
This is Petty Officer Diaz. I need a security team to Deck 5.
This is unbelievable.
If we'd have agreed to have a relationship with her, then totally we would not assume she's a traitor. We would play it that way. But no, she's acting weird. I don't trust her. And it's not just because I rejected her. Ooh, pretty purple sky. Skybox in this game is gorgeous. That's a very nice landing as well. What lies beneath? We've not got to the end of the chapter yet. Insulted by his suspicion. I mean, yes, but she's acting weird. And yes, she noticed how I shared a suspicion. Yes, because she suspected her too. I don't know why everyone was being all weird about it. It was like, you know, clearly something's wrong. Alright, where is Chapter 2 supposed to end? Because I know the original achievement was broken, but... It might be a little way because the little story bit that is there, I do not recognize, and it is 6. So we've done about half, I think. You spent 10 minutes sat on someone. Oh, someone's. That sentence made more sense. Okay. Yeah. I'm glad for that addition, yes, indeed. Ooh. Crystals. Yeah, I think we're gonna end here.
Tau resembles underwater plant life on Earth. The universe is full of mysteries.
Pretty. But yes, we are going to end here because it's 6 past 6. No, I'll do that later. God, I hate it when it gets stuck in my thing. Let's have a look at the credits while I'm thinking what I'm doing. Oh, I'm stuck to everything. This is disgusting. Yeah. Yes, we called security instead. We did indeed. Dramatic labs. Yeah, it is incredibly ridiculously hot here. It's disgusting. I hate it. It shouldn't continue for much longer, but it's September, for crying out loud. It should not be 33 outside. Moderate thunderstorm. Yeah, but it's also humid, so that's not really going to make it any better. What is the humidity? Okay, yeah, it's like 46%, which is not too bad. It's not as bad as it's been. My thermostat is showing all of the numbers. It does not when it's too humid. But yeah, it's certainly icky. I've also have a thunderstorm warning, but I doubt that's going to happen. Yeah, I mean, it's quite warm in all the locations I have saved on my phone. Not quite as... Currently, London is winning. I'm not really comfortable with this particularly. Where's my other weather app, just to double check? No chance of rain. Should get cooler. But yeah. Yeah, there's no chance of rain here, which means it's going to be a dry thunderstorm, but at least it's not been so hot this summer that everything is brittle. Last year, everything dried out and there was a hosepipe ban, and then it was thunderstorming and it was dry heat, and I was really concerned there was going to be fires. So I'm glad that, you know, it's not been dehydrating heat. Brainzoo! So yeah. Okay, so thank you everyone for being here. We're just going to watch the end of the credits. Thanks to Mr. Corners for the raid and the resub. I will be totting up resubs. You feel brittle. I mean, that's fine. Just don't go out in the thunderstorm and get caught on fire. You know. Yeah, basically, if you feel brittle, don't catch yourself on fire. Simple as that. I will. I will be totting up subs for this month. We've not had a big influx. We are doing September. We are matching donations, matching subs, donations to Extra Life, any bits as well. But also, if you want to donate to Extra Life this month, I will match donations. I've put a little reward thing in there so you can redeem that. Next month, I'll do a different reward for donations. Looking into game codes as a reward for donations. So you get to pick some ideal Xbox games to an equivalent of some percentage over the value that you've donated. So basically, donate and get good value in games is really what I'm going with, because it's for the kids. So yeah. But I am melting. I am going to unstick myself from my sofa. Maybe have an ice lolly. I bought ice lollies. I got delivery today. It didn't deliver my eggs, even though they charged me for them, which I got a refund for. It's fine. But they did deliver me some ice lollies. I got some magnums and some sorbets, fruity magnums, which because chocolate not so well with the heat. Fruity magnums and sorbets. I've already had a sorbet, but hey, it's really freaking hot, so I can have another one. But yes, live long and prosper. I never remember which hand it was, but I could do it with both. Yeah, well, the lollies are just easier to like hold on to, and then there's not this like pesky cone thing, or you know, like container. Nanu? I feel like I should know where that's from. Honestly, seriously, it's 30. Well, it's 29 and a half. It's close enough to 30 in here. It's definitely more than that outside. My brain is currently... Oh, I've never seen Mork and Mindy, so that's why I don't get the reference. My brain is currently leaking out of my ears, it feels like. I've basically just been sat in front of two fans with, you know, cool packs, trying to keep cool. They're now not cool anymore. I need to go recool them. For, you know, I've got nothing else done today, and I have no plans to get anything else done today. Except maybe move a chair and relocate a suitcase, which is like the minimum of effort that I'm gonna do. Oh, and I'm gonna have my haircut tomorrow. So yeah. I should cold brew some tea as well, I guess. I've got squash in my teacup. Of course, at this point, no one else can see the chat, so it's just me giggling to myself. But Dan and Nikia being silly is basically the summation of it. So I'm going to go and recool my cool things to try and cool down a wee bit. I will be back tomorrow with the trial for Chapter 5. We shall find out who killed Nagito. And I don't know. It is a complete mystery at this point. I really don't know what happened. Other than there was clearly something on a timer because we were all there when it happened. So someone set it up. And that someone is probably the traitor. And then we'll find out what on earth Chapter 6 is going to look like. But we'll have to take a little break before we finish that. So yeah. So for now, I'll hopefully see you tomorrow. Maybe it'll be less hot tomorrow. I do have to go outside. Luckily, it's earlier in the morning, but I'm not looking forward to being outside. Though I may take the opportunity to then go to the supermarket and get some eggs. Because I did actually need eggs. That was why I put them in my delivery. Eggs and cheese. Make an omelette. So yeah. Anyway, take care everyone. Thank you for being here. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. That was a really cool game. I have lots of games. I don't know whether I'll put this one back in rotation or whether I'll say if you want to find out what happens, you're going to have to play it yourself. We'll see. I don't think I got my RTDL one yet, so... yeah, we will see. I've got so many, I've got like 100 on the list of ones that I need to do, and I keep getting more each week, so I really need to do more showcases to get through them. And I don't really have room for repeats as yet. I can find out what happens, but yes, I think I might just go, thank you, ID Xbox, for the code for streaming Star Trek Resurgence. If you want to find out what happens, then I'm afraid you're going to have to support indie developers and buy the game yourself. It's good. I highly recommend it. So yeah. Have a great rest of your weekend. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. If not, have fun anyway. I've been Joe, otherwise known as Angel SK, and I wish you a great rest of your day. Bye!